Hello. Welcome to Enriched Lives. I'm Brother Charles, and we have another fantastic topic. And again, we just want to say welcome wherever y'all are, morning, noon, or night, whatever the location is that you're listening to us. We're just thankful that you took the time out of your busy schedule to listen to Enriched Lives. On this particular program, we like to discuss fascinating topics based on biblical principles. And today we have another fascinating topic to discuss, and that, my friends, is attachments. But before we get into our discussion about attachments, let me say this here. You, my friends, you're worthy, you're blessed, and you are a creator. That's right. You're worthy, you're blessed, and you are a creator. That's right, my friend. You're not some wretch, you're not a bad person. You are enough. The Creator has put enough in you to do everything that you desire. Your kingdom is within you, my friend, not outside in the world. Therefore, it is imperative that you understand in essence who you are. You're a divine being created in the image of God. Therefore, you're worthy, you're blessed, and you are a creator. You create things, you make things the way you want them to be. You speak, and it comes to pass. Now, that is a very interesting concept, isn't it? But here again, we have this show where we base our topics on biblical principles. Basically, we're talking about concepts and ideologies that we believe that are true. True. Today we have another fascinating topic dealing with attachments. That's right, attachments. What are some of your attachments? You know, attachment brings forth the concept idea that you can't let something go. You're holding on to it and you can't let it go. It's an attachment and you have to release yourself from that. So therefore, it's imperative that you understand that you have the ability to release whatever it is that you're holding on to. Especially if it's not good for you. Now we're going to talk about attachment. Of course, we like to build, again, our discussion on biblical principles. And one of the things that we're going to look for is coming out of the book of Genesis. Genesis, the 19th chapter, and the 17th down through the 26th verse. Genesis 19, 17 down through and the 26th verse. And also we're going to be looking at also in Luke, the 18th chapter, 18 down to the 23rd verse. These verses deal with attachments, my friend. Attachments. In the first one we see the fact that Lot, that's a very interesting story about Lot, where the angels appear to him and tell him to get out of that city where he is in Gomorrah, and Lot is kind of hesitant about leaving. They say, you got to get out of here. God's going to destroy the place. So Lot is reluctant about leaving, but yet still he doesn't. He doesn't want to disobey God, so he does what he's told to do. You get a chance to read that story and come up with your own opinion about that, my friend. But the most intriguing thing about that is that there were some specific instructions given. They said, look, get out of here and don't look back. Don't look back. Go straight ahead. Don't look back, because that's going to be destruction of the city. These were given specifically to Lot and his wife and their two daughters. The sons act like he was crazy. So we're not going with you. The son-in-laws, they just bagged out the whole deal, my friend. And so, but here again, we see Lot has to do this. So he's on his way outside, and he makes a petition to the angels to let him go to a little small city, Zoar. And so they said, okay, go there, because he felt like if he went to the mountains, he was going to be destroyed. So he goes out of that particular situation, my friend. But the thing that's so intriguing about the whole thing, he says, look, don't look back. That was for everybody, not to look back. And his wife looked back, and it stated that she turned to a pillar of salt. Now, the most intriguing part about that whole concept is that the specific instruction was given not to look back. Why did she look back? Well, it's very simple, my friend. It's very simple. There was an attachment. You know, you can't release something that you're holding on to unless you decide to let it go. She couldn't release the idea of looking back one last time at the city where she had lived, and she just looked back. And it states that she turned to a pillar of salt. Look back. An attachment. What is it that you are attached to, my friend? What are the things that cause you to look back into a life of drudgery and misery and pain? And yet still, when you see yourself getting out, you want to look back at that and go back to it. No, this specific instruction was not to look back. And she did that. And she did that. And of course, as the Bible says, she turned to a pillar of salt. The next thing that we deal with in attachment is coming out of the book of Luke, where Luke deals with the rich young ruler that comes up to Jesus and says, Lord, what must I do to inherit eternal life? Not the specific question is, what must I do to inherit eternal life? Did he really want eternal life? That is the question. And so Jesus tells him that he had to keep all the commandments, and he says, I've done all of this from my youth up. Now you understand why he was rich. As he said, there's one thing lacking that you have to do. One thing lacking. He says, go and sell all of your goods and give that to the poor. And he went away very sadly. Why? Because he was very wealthy. And to give away his wealth meant to him that he was going to be poor. He didn't want that. So there's an attachment there. There's an attachment to his possessions. There was an attachment there to his possessions, and he was attached to that. That's very interesting, isn't it? That's very interesting. You know, we ask for a certain thing, but did he really want eternal life? Because here we have a value system being put in place also. Because if it was valuable to him, he would have released those riches. See, there's a system that you and I as individuals must understand, that when we want something bad enough, we want that particular thing, we would drop everything for it. And apparently eternal life was not number one on the agenda. The number one on his agenda was holding on to his possessions. And that's what's so intriguing, because there was an attachment. He couldn't let it go because he was attached to his possessions, to his riches. You know, I find that very intriguing, my friend, that you and I as individuals have so many little things that we are attached to. You can't let them go. We find ourselves being attached to certain things. Let it go. Easier said than done, my friend. Easier said than done. There are relationships that are not good for you, and you're trying to hold on to them because there is an attachment to it. And behind all attachments, there is fear. There is fear. You believe that if you let that go, something bad is going to happen to you. You believe that if you release that, something is going to happen to you. And there is fear behind attachments, because if there's no fear, you can let it go. I find it very intriguing that you and I as individuals should understand that behind all of the attachments that we have, all the phobias and everything, there is a spirit of fear. And speaking quite honestly, my friend, the scripture said that God is not the author of fear. Where did you get that from? Where did you get the fear that if you let that go, you're going to be in bad shape? You're going to be in pain and misery. If you let that go, you're going to be poor. You're going to be a pauper. If you let that go, no one is going to really want to be with you. If you come out of that relationship, where did you get that from, my friend? I'll tell you exactly where you got that from. You got it because you're afraid. You're afraid to let it go. Because if you let it go, on the other side of letting it go, there is freedom. There's freedom. And you have no concept, no ideology what it really means to be in freedom, because you've been in bondage so long by being in these attachments. That's just like taking a fish and asking a fish about something about the Sahara Desert, what it means to be in a desert. Fish has no concept of a desert because it's been in the water all of its life. It has no concept of a desert. Why? Because it's been in the water all its life. And so you and I, when we enter into freedom, there is no concept of bondage. You see, so we have two parallels here, freedom and bondage. To enter into freedom, you must release your attachments. And that, my friends, what you're holding on to, 9 times out of 10, is because you're afraid to let it go. Let it go. Well, what are they going to say about me? That's irrelevant, my friend. Your freedom should be more important to you than anything else. You're a divine being created in the image of God. It doesn't make any difference what people say about you. It doesn't make any difference who's in the White House, who's in the government. It doesn't make any difference. The most important thing is what's going on inside of you. Are there any attachments? If they're so, these attachments have to be dealt with. And the only way attachments can be dealt with is there has to be what? A state of awareness. You have to become aware of what it is that you're attached to. There can be no release of attachments or anything without first being aware of it. You know, you can be ignorantly holding on to something and not be aware of it. You can be holding on to things that are detrimental to you that you're not aware of it. So it becomes imperative that you understand in essence who you are. You, my friend, are a divine being created in the image of God. Release the attachments and enter into your freedom. Until next time, my friend, this is Brother Charles with Enriched Life. When you're worthy, you're blessed, and you are a creator. Thank you again for tuning in.